To get a response and a performance like that in that short space of time?
What they've done has been absolutely fantastic. And I think more than anything, they've been talking to them. They made them understand what Manchester United is supposed to be. And then he's given them the freedom to go and do that. So there was no, as soon as they won the ball, it didn't matter where the ball was won, there was no restraint. Go forward. And we saw that in the first goal. You had, it's a free kick that Harry defends, heads it out, and all of a sudden they're 4 against 2. That's not something I've seen for a very, very long time in Manchester United. But that is what Manchester United historically always has been able to do. You know, as soon as the ball is won, you go forward and you don't think about what's going to happen behind you. That, I think, is something they've been talking to them about a lot, that when you get that opportunity. And it was fantastic. I mean, I can't praise Michael Carrigan and his staff enough for what they've done in such a short space of time, because it was not easy. And again, I go back to the 2 games where Fletcher was in charge. There was no difference. You couldn't see a difference with the same players. Today, it was 2 different worlds. You know, it's just, if they can keep this up, I'm just looking at the fixtures left, you know. The Champions League is
one game and you dream it. One thing Michael did say was, I've told the players to enjoy it. We're playing for Manchester United, you're playing at Old Trafford here. And you saw a smile on not just the players, but the supporters' face again today, Michael.
Yeah, but you can't... Enjoyment is a byproduct. You don't go onto the pitch thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to love this today. Winning, you only enjoy it if you're winning, if you're scoring goals, if you're breaking fast. I mean, the pace in that Manchester United team now, they've got... Peter said about direct, they were looking forward, but you can do that when you've got pace up front. And everywhere you look, there was players wanting to run forward. And then you get 1 or 2 players on the ball. You get Bruno on the ball, you get Kobe Mainoo on the ball. Casemiro was brilliant today. And all of a sudden it looks like a team when you've got those players willing to run forward. So, yes, enjoyment, and everybody loves playing football. I mean, it's the greatest game in the world. But I tell you what, it's the worst game in the world when you're playing rubbish as well, and you can't enjoy it then. And these Manchester United players have probably hated football, hated the game for a long, long time. So, yes, enjoyment is really important, but I don't think that you can go onto a pitch and say, oh, yeah, we're just going to enjoy it today. Enjoyment comes with playing well and winning, and they will more than enjoy it tonight.
And City didn't enjoy it. And some of those points Michael's making about the way United set up with that pace, and did it catch them out a little bit?
Potentially. Well, I'm going to say obviously because it worked and they lost 2-0. But in regards to the way City are susceptible to chances and goals being scored against them, that it was perfect for them. They like to press high. They like to keep every player up high to sustain attacks, but then when you find yourself defending, it's either an offside or one-on-one, and you can't get that right every time. Can we any of us think of a moment in the game where someone was jockeying a United forward and there was delay in the attack? It was either he's offside or he's in on goal, and you can't defend like that. You're not able to give yourself a breather, to be honest. It's hard to kind of get momentum in the game, because even if it's offside, it still lifts the crowd and it still gives momentum to the attacking team. So they probably need to learn to defend a little bit deeper and suffer and be comfortable in making it harder to beat, rather than when someone wins the ball, within 3 passes, they can be in front of your goal. And again, the first goal, that can't happen. They can't have an attack. And if I just think about where Cherki's took the free kick from and the distance, Mbeumo's 10 yards ahead of him. By the time he scored the goal, I think Cherki's 40 yards behind him. Like, that can't be, especially in a derby, that can't be the outcome to any goal.
Let's have a look at it then, what Joleon's talking about, because as you say, Harry Maguire been classed just prior to this, hadn't he?
Yeah, he's down injured. You see when he lands here, oh my God! But he's the one winning the ball, and that's Harry was amazing today. He was a reason for the clean sheet. But this is fantastic by Bruno. He runs and runs and runs, and you ask the questions of the 2 defenders. What are they going to do? Are they going to stop and attack him, or are they going to go with Mbeumo or with Ahmad on the right? This is a perfect counter.
You like Mbeumo's run here, Michael?
I do, because if he stays on the same line, him and Ahmad are chasing the same ball, all of a sudden he makes that dart towards the left, which then gives 2 options. Kusanov, I don't know. In fact, the 2 centre-halves for Manchester City are way too narrow. I'm sure Jolien will go on to that. But the pace of the pass from Bruno, the way he just let it come... See, there's the dart. That then is the catalyst. That's then the game changer of that attack. And all of a sudden, he doesn't even have to take a touch. The ball is played perfectly. How else would Bruno present a ball? He doesn't know how to give a bad pass. And then it's just a one-touch strike right across the defender. But that change of direction of the run on the halfway line, change that from a promising attack to a goal-scoring attack.
And from a defender's point of view?
Yeah, definitely. He creates the space, but then Kushnerov allows that space to get bigger. I think he needs to match Mbeumo's run and force the pass out to the other side, because as soon as he creates that space, like Mo said, Fernandes isn't going to misplace that. And as soon as he gets there, the gap's bigger. Now no one can recover. So if he matches the run of Mbeumo, joins the line, as soon as he goes wide, you go wide. So now you're forcing Bruno into having a shot or passing it out to the stronger position for you defensively, and he doesn't do that.
It's interesting how different we see that, because I actually think Kusanov's doing well. As a goalkeeper there, I don't want Bruno to take the ball and come directly at me, because that gives me no chance. I want him to pass it to Mbeumo. I want to have that angle where I can close it down a little bit. That will give me the best chance. The thing about it is, if he's doing what you say he's doing, then it opens up that gap. That Bruno can just run straight to the goal, and if he gets... if the other defender comes across, he just rolls it out to Ahmad, then he's free. And that's why I think this attack was absolutely inch perfect. I don't think they could have done much.
But with that, what you're saying, them the second and third scenario of him letting Bruno take a shot or going out wide, it's delaying the attack.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't allow for that attack to be delayed, so no one can get back.
It's so strange how different positions. Yeah. Like, I agree with Joe that there's three scenarios. One is to pass it to the left, one's to pass it to the right, and one is to shoot from the middle. Yeah. Now, if I'm attacking, I'm thinking the Mbeumo one, I know the outcome was the goal, so it's easy to say now, but I'm thinking that is the most dangerous one, prevent that. If anything, I'm jockeying, I'm staying wider and think, go on then, this is a bad situation, it's 3v2. But the worst, let's just let Bruno have a shot from 22 yards, 20... let him take another touch here. Let's split a bit. Let him take another touch and have a shot. That is the lesser of the evils in my eyes. Then going to Ahmad is the next one. But that one there, that is the last one you allowed to happen.
Funny, because that's the one I want.
That's the one you want, because that's your strength. That's your strength as an individual goalkeeper.
As soon as he does that, I would come out a little bit closer, the angle down. I don't want Bruno. But when a striker comes running straight at you, there's no angle anywhere. It's directly...
But he's 25 yards out.
Yeah, but how he hits the ball is impossible to read, right? So you don't know if the ball's going to go to your left or your right. And as you run with a ball that bobs a little bit, you know how the ball then will react. It gives you less of a chance to save it, unless it's straight at you. But anything here makes it very, very difficult. Now, for me, this is how I'm thinking. I want Ahmad or Mbeumo to have the ball, because that gives me a chance to save it. So I want them to close it. These were the deals we all had.
But it gives you more chance to save it. But it gives you the team a lesser chance. If I'm in Mbeumo's position, then I'm scoring 5 in 10. If I'm hitting it from the centre where Bruno is, I'm scoring 2 in 10.
But bearing in mind...
And that's me, but you
but as a defender, you've also got assists, and we're talking about it, but this is the amount of time he should have to think about it. Mbeumo's on his strong foot. Force it out to Darlow, who's on a weaker foot. So then, it gives the keeper more chance to make a save, where I just don't think he gives himself or the team.
But OK, he passes the ball. If Kusanov's going out and closes that option down, he can still bring that ball forward. Then he passes it out to Ahmad. And don't forget, this is 4 against 2. This is a perfect counter-attack, because what we haven't spoken about yet is Doku behind. So when Ahmad gets a ball on the right, on his right foot, which is his strong foot, then it's a cross. Then you've got Mbeumo, you've got Doku, and you've got Bruno himself against 2 defenders. That's a situation I wouldn't like.
I know, but that's another pass and another pass. Yeah. It's time and more things that can go wrong. Bang, bang, goal, it's finished.
Discussion and debate, because we must move on to show 2-0. Now, you've been bemoaning, like all the United fans recently, the lack of options off the bench. What about Cunha off the bench today?
I was disappointed he didn't start the game, but when he came on, he made such an impact. This should never, ever lead to anything, but the quality of what he's doing here is just perfect. Then, of course, Rico Lewis goes to sleep. He's just been booked. I don't know if you're thinking about that. And Doku just nips in front of him and scores. But Mbeumo coming on and doing that, it's just... And we have, again, let me just repeat what I've said a few times today. that is again something that we haven't seen too much of in the last couple of years. Somebody crossing the ball, you know.
And what about Rico Lewis's role in that, Jolene?
Yeah, again, he's just caught with his body position all wrong. Initially, he can see Dagu, but then when he runs into the box, he's facing his own goal, and by the time he sees him, he's already too late. He's already past him. But initially, Ake can drop a little bit deeper. As soon as the ball goes past you as a centre half, drop into the line and shut the front corridor off.
OK, so that 9-game unbeaten run for Manchester City is over, and it is a derby defeat for them and their manager, Pep Guardiola.
Well, Pep, obviously the result is a disappointment. What did you make of your team's performance?
Better team won. United was in 10 years is the time we came here that they were better. So nothing more to say. When a team is better, you have to accept it. You have the energy that we didn't have, and yeah, congratulate them.
So how were they able to, maybe not in terms of possession, but chances, how were they able to have the better of the match?
No, they had the chances at the end and the crosses, and of course the goals they conceded was poorly. You do know that always United have been a transitional team, and we didn't control. But in general, we can talk about this action or the other action, or the, you know, in the beginning of the game or whatever. So I think we had the duty to analyse the game in the general, and they were better.
They obviously wanted an intense, physical game. They want to bring their crowd into it. Were you just not able at any point? Maybe because you didn't keep the ball well enough, you just weren't able to take that heat out of the match?
But they started really strong. We lost 1 or 2 balls. The crowd is normal, so we played the derby. So in many years, you know, they were behind and they play at home, a long week, new manager. So these kind of things are involved in a game. It's normal that will happen. But, you know, especially when we arrive many times in the final third to try to, you know, to score, we never make a threat, we never make a crosses, we never make a, you know, a movement to, you know, to try to win that. So that is because also it's part of the energy. And it's not the energy also we talk is about, you know, win or duels. Always it's what do we do with the ball as well, not just without. And today they have a point higher than us.
Yeah, Pep Guardiola saying we never made a threat. They had 1 effort on target. That's their fewest in almost 2 years in a Premier League game. And he made a couple of massive calls today. Phil Foden off at half-time and needing goals at 2-0. Erling Haaland, who didn't understandably look too impressed as well. I mean, they're 2 massive calls from Pep Guardiola, aren't they?
Yeah, massive. Phil Foden's half understandable. It was a relatively quiet half for him and City in general. And Cherky bringing on someone that's recently been great, creating chances, and I think he's top assist for Man City. So I understand that. The Haaland one, again, and the Tanzanian commentary spoke about his lack of touches, and that is consistently throughout his career here. We've seen that he doesn't get involved that often, but if there's opportunities to be made and goals to be scored, he tends to be on the end of them. So that was probably a strange one, but listen, Pep called it right. They fully deserved to lose the game today due to the intensity, not being able to stay in attacks or possession, which is slightly unusual.
And, of course, now later on, Arsenal at Forest have the opportunity to win and go 9 points clear. Manchester United